It's
I declare the fifth game of the night. Your lovely game master is Miss Reggie, and I'm going to do some lazy card picking. So if you're not sure, just give me a question mark when I ask you your turn. Night falls upon the city. Play number one. Play number two. Play number three. Play number four. Play number five. Play number six. Play number seven. And play number eight. Please see what the city is left for you. The roles have been decided. The music gets louder and the night grows darker. Only the vicious Mafia Don and Mafia members awaken. You have 1 minute to make your plan.
One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you. One way or another, I'm gonna win you. I'm gonna get you. One way or another, I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna meet you. One day, maybe next week, I'm gonna meet you. I'll meet you. I will drive past your house. And if the lights are all down, I'll see you around. One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna
Take it.
take it. One way or another, I'm gonna win you. I'll get you. One way or another, I'm gonna see you.
Thank you, Mafia. Go back to sleep.
One day,
Sheriff may awaken and bring their
I'll
home.
meet you. And if the lights are all out, I'll
Thank you, Sheriff.
follow you.
Morning arises in the city. May the stronger team win. We start our discussions today with player number one, Mr. Hemlock. Your minute.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah. I realized I've stuffed up because I was tired, so during the whole night I was just not thinking, and now I realize it's going to be extra sus because I don't know speech to say. So that's it. You can vote me out. I'm not sheriff, so that's fine. I'm Red Citizen. I'm interested to see how it works with the 8-player dynamic. Like, it's unique, it's fun. We haven't done it before. We don't have any casters, so I'm keen to see how that works. Yeah, don't have anything else to say. I don't know, it looks really bad, but we're gonna pass anyways.
Thank you, Mr. Hemlock. We move on then to player number two, Mr. Dramatic. Your minute.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks everyone for staying for one last game. Even though some of us are very tired. I know that was like a shorter speech, but given it's late or whatever, I'm at this stage I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that's necessarily suspicious yet. Otherwise, yeah, I don't have much else to say. Have Mafia won? Oh no, the City won one game. I think it's been like 3 more. Okay. All I was thinking is that song. I'm sure it's very famous for other things, but it always makes me think of that movie Mean Girls, because there's like a big montage in there where it's set to that song. So that's always fun for me when it comes on. That was a boring story, but that's all I've got to say. Pass.
Thank you, Mr. Dramatic. We move on then to player number 3, Miss Fortune, your minute.
I think I'll join boring stories. It's not really color revealing to me, and also, I think it's my first time I'm playing with 8 members. Not sure what's I forgot to ask what's the difference. Just playing normal things. Yeah, I never played with 8 people. Okay. So I can't tell the colors. Boring, the same like my speech, the same. Pass.
Thank you, Miss Fortune. We move on then to player number 4, Miss Frenchie, your minute.
Rise and shine, everyone. Let me pick up Jess because I'm tired. Anyway, play number 1. There was not much, so I can't really tell your color as it is. Player number 2, I love the movie Mean Girls. I love it. But that's not enough for me to play with you. So yeah, for me right now you're still like in a gray area. Player number 3, I also never played 8 people thing, so I don't know really what it is, but I know there's some into Mafia. So let's take them out because they're not that many. But yeah, other than that, I'm a citizen, so I hope the city is going to win again, like the previous game.
10 seconds.
And I'm done. Pass.
Thank you, Miss Frenchie. We move on to player number 5, Miss Phoenix, your minute.
Player number 1, please don't fall asleep yet. I know you're close to it, but that will actually make us all sleepy. We are ready. Just for that, because you're not gonna be like playing a big role in the city apparently. You're gonna be a red citizen so far, but number 2, I can't tell yet. So I cannot say really much about you. Number 3, I like your speech, but still, when I think that I can actually read you, I was wrongly in last game, so I'm not very sure yet. Number 4, you give me more red vibes. You see how different it was from last game? That's what I'm saying, but let's see what happened.
10 seconds.
I can say. So basically, the game will be like Mafia will kill 10 on the first night. Oh, no, not 10, no, not night.
Your time is up. We move on then to player number 6, Miss Mamba, your minute.
I mean, guys, seriously. So what's going on? So I'm rolling eyes, not because you don't remember something, just because what you're doing right now, that's wrong, right? So because first of all, you give Mafia idea who the sheriff is, who is sheriff not. Second, this is like out of, so like I cannot say, for example, as a red citizen, I cannot say, I don't remember how many mafias. You can say. So this is like behind the rules, You make yourself red by using the argument which you're not supposed to use on the table. Like, I don't remember how many mafias. That's what I'm against. Okay, I'm playing with number 3. For the obvious reason.
10 seconds.
And number 5 and a little bit number 4. Just a little bit.
And thank you, Miss Mamba. That's your minute. We move on then to player number 7, Miss Condor, your minute.
Okay, I'm surprised Miss Mamba didn't explain what happened because there's some people here that have never played number, and I don't remember anyone saying what happened. Right now it means that one good player and one bad player has been out, so that's it, that's where we are. Nothing crazy. I know she was going on with you, number 3.
There
You're
is
sad.
a sheriff.
Warning, Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Dramatic.
Ah, okay. That was the question? Okay.
How are we supposed to be?
Anyway,
morning with Mama.
number 1, tired, please play better. Number 2, nothing so far, gray area. Number 3, gray area but towards dark. Number 4, you're tired, please don't cry. Don't cry for the Argentina. Anyway, goodbye so far. We'll see. Number 5, a little bit more time before I can decide. Number 6, like, are you angry with us? I'm sorry. But for
10
that one, I
seconds.
would say please check number 6. When we check, just to make sure, just for that, because I thought you were gonna like, okay, this is what happened, like, because you take care of us, you know. But anyway, I
And
hope
thank you,
everyone
Miss
has-
Condor. That's your minute. We conclude today's discussions with player number 8, Mr. Amerigo. Your minute.
Thank you, team. I found that all of your speeches full of criticism, especially number 5, number 4, number 6, just generating the almost the pure criticism about our members. So yeah, I just got the relief that at least one round I will get I will survive and 10 player we will be killed, but not in this round. So all of us in charge on risk. So yeah, I will play with probably number 2. Number 1, I'm not really ready to put you on color scale, and play with number 7
10 seconds.
and number 4. The rest players still need to be checked, maybe sheriff or something like that.
And thank you, Mr. Amerigo. That's your minute. Night falls upon the city. As the night grows darker, the vicious mafia raise their pistols and move past the players. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8. Mafia goes back to sleep. Mafia don't awaken to look for sheriff. Mafia don't awaken and looks for sheriff.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to decide?
Sheriff awakens and looks for Mafia.
World and the 7 seas. Everybody is looking for something.
Morning arises on the city. We have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is we do have Mafia in our lovely town. The good news is we had a miss shot last night. Mafia were not precise in their shooting. The game moves forward. We start now our day with player number 2, Mr. Dramatic, your minute.
How? I don't. Okay, now is everyone just tired? Are people intentionally like pretending they're not knowing what they're doing? Okay. Anyway. Oh, I just don't know though. I mean, I just. No one's speeches were like particularly red or dark. I'm thinking only because 3 was not sure about the Mafia and the sheriff. Oh, but you'd know how many Mafia there were. if
10
you were
seconds.
Mafia. Sorry, this has been the worst speech ever, but I'm really confused that there was.
And thank you, Mr. Dramatic. That's your minute. We move on then to player number 3, Miss Fortune, your minute.
What a game. What a speech. I will have the same. I don't know, should be actually. It will be a game. I don't know, like. Don't know what even to discuss yet. Like, your speech was dark for me, but I totally understand. Like, it's a little bit tired situation and confused situation, not sure. So from previous round. I would play with number 1, not play with number 2. Uh,
10 seconds.
I would play with number 6 this time. Sorry, I'll listen to you guys.
And thank you, Miss Fortune. That's your minute. We move on then to player number 4, Miss Frenchie. Your minute.
So that's too bad. I have a question, Miss Mama, because in your previous speech, you were kind of mad at Miss Fortune for like being like, oh, I don't know how to play, I don't know, and then you were like, I'm playing with her. So can you just explain why you changed your mind so quickly? Because you did not change your mind, but you were like, oh, you're acting like you're red, but then I'm playing with her. Anyway, I would like just to understand because that was sus to me, but the rest did not seem so sus. So that's why I put you in grey zone at the moment. Other than that, 2 and 3, very grey. Like you did not do anything, did not give me anything. So at the moment, I'm gonna nominate player number 3.
Number 3 accepted.
And I just need to listen to the others and see if like
10 seconds.
anyone has something else to say or to convince me that someone else. But yeah, so far it's a little bit grey from everyone.
And thank you, Miss Frenchie. That's your minute. We move on then to player number 5, Miss Phoenix. Your minute.
Yeah, right. To be honest, the speeches are not helpful at all. Sorry, but yeah. I would say that number 2 speech was like quite normal compared like the weird situation, misfire, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna still like leave you in gray area. I'm not really sure. I got a weird feeling about number 3, yeah, because I don't know if your speech about asking if it was a sheriff or no was like distracting strategy or was genuine. I'm not pretty sure, but I agree with number 4. I don't get what you say. Like you said something about her, like against her, and they was like, yeah, but I play with you, so it was like confusing. I agree that. And same that you point out 7 just right away
10 seconds.
without she actually being like had her speech. So I don't know, great area.
And thank you, Miss Phoenix. That's your minute. We move on then to player number 6, Miss Mamba. Your minute.
I didn't point at number 7 before hearing your speech. No, I asked her to check her after she did her speech, not before. Just keep in mind, guys. Okay, so if I explain what I was trying to say, it will help Duck team. That's why I'm not going to do it. You have to trust me on this. So some of the players sometimes do or say certain things which help Duck team to find sheriff. That's what I was against. But 3 was absolutely red for me for this reason. Now, after the speech of the player number 2, I thought, oh well, that's probably
10 seconds.
not the best speech, but the speech of player number 3 is even worse. So I nominate player number 2,
And number 2
and I'm
accepted.
gonna do one of those unless something else
And thank you,
comes.
Miss Mamba. That's your minute. We move on then to player number 7, Miss Condor. Your minute.
Wow. I feel like because everyone's tired, you kind of feel the energy. Like the vibe, you know, everyone is on neutral right now. Number 2, I'm not getting it. I'm not picking up on it. I think he was very sincerely confused, and he was the first to speak on the second night. It doesn't give me super dark. Does it give me super? No, but doesn't give me super dark. Number 3 does give me a little bit more dark only because of the first speech, and then the second speech is less hard to read on the second speech. And I know, like, I have seen you play, and for you, for me, it's hard for me to read you. Number 4, you were very logical, like how you usually are, like in terms of like pointing things out that I think makes a lot of sense. Number 5, also very logical, but she did asked to check me out during my speech.
10
after my
seconds.
Speech. Number 6, I don't know, there's a feeling here, I'm not sure. Please check number 6 and sign or something, because otherwise.
And
I
thank you,
may
Miss
make a
Condor.
mistake or
That's your
something.
minute.
Okay.
We move on then to player number 8, Mr. Amerigo. Your minute.
I'm a bit lost with some of the speeches, so I'm a bit lost with speech with player number 3, 2, and 5. the speech of the player number 5 was full of the conditions. I'm very tried to understand hard, but couldn't find the team you combining. I'm playing with number 1, but I still need to hear more because he haven't spoke yet from the first speech. I'm playing with number 6. I found the good points in your speech, and maybe I will play with number 7 more rather than others. Yeah. A bit concerned about it. Yeah.
10
3,
seconds.
2, and 5. And 4. I'm nominating number 2.
Number 2 supported. And thank you, Mr. Merrigo. That's your minute. We conclude today's discussions with player number 1. Mr. Hemlock, your minute.
So I'll be voting for player number 3 because when I did my first speech, she said she was not playing with me. Then I said nothing else, and then she said I'll be playing with me. Doesn't make any sense. It shows that you're trying to say words, but you're not really trying to think. To be fair, player 8 just did the exact same last round. You didn't, but I believe based on that, I'll be voting against number 3. Player 6 is the reddest for me. Her logic makes sense, and her frustration in the context of the game makes the most. And then next against 2 because I don't get a misfire is good. The sheriff gets another check. So while it's confusing, I feel like you were a bit too.
10 seconds.
A bit too negative of an emotion. So I'll be voting 3, but I do agree that they're both the darkest at the moment.
And thank you, Mr. Hemlock. That's your minute. That concludes the discussion portion of the day. We now move on to the voting. Please remove all hands and elbows from the table, and no gesturing is allowed from now on. We have 2 players up for nomination today. Player number 3 and player number 2. I'll repeat. Player number 3 and player number 2. Who would like to vote against player number 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you. And who would like to vote against player number 2? 2 votes, thank you. So unfortunately, player number 3, you have the majority of the votes. You are put to prison. You have 1 final minute.
Yeah, I just change my opinion. I'm allowed to. I'm a girl. So for me, for the speeches, because previously I didn't get any colorful speeches, me including, guilty. But then number 5 started very bright, but then put all the information so for me, number 5 for me is the darkest here, and number 6 that gives me a red vibe, the same, and
10 seconds.
can't say about anyone else. Sorry, everyone else in the grey zone. Sorry, I'm not allowed to count.
And thank you, Miss for telling it. Table. Night falls upon the city. As the night grows darker, the vicious mafia raises their pistols and moves past the players. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8. Mafia gun awakens and looks to sheriff.
I see a line of cars in there.
Sheriff awakens and looks to mafia.
Flowers and my love hope never to come back. I see people turn their heads and quickly look away.
Morning arises in the city. Unfortunately, mafia were precise in their shot, and player number 5 was killed. You have 1 final
I
minute.
was a sheriff. I checked 7 and 6. They were good. So 8. Why not 8? because I got something, a gut feeling, and I revealed to 7. The last thing that we shared was like who I should check. Sorry, I couldn't do anything else because I wasn't really sure about number 2, not sure about number 8. So sorry for these 2 girls here. I will say it's probably between 8 and 2, but don't put totally under the radar and number 1. But I also got a little gut feeling about you, so I'm not very sure about 4. But sorry, sorry, it's not helping a lot. But if we did it right, there was just 1 mafia left.
10 seconds.
Just 1 mafia left, but sorry, that's what I can say. Just 2 good checks. Pass.
And thank you, Miss Phoenix. That's your minute. Please give a round of applause. She's now leaving our table. We started discussions today with player number. Number 4. Sorry, no, I crossed out someone that I thought. So number 4, Miss Frenchie, you have 1 minute.
I don't understand why 5 checked number 6. She looks so red, but
She
why?
didn't understand her reasoning.
Second warning, Mr. Dramatic.
Anyway, I'm nominating player number 8
Number 8,
for
accepted.
the reason that you voted with number 3, that I believe was dark, and because of the reasoning of 1 saying that you were playing with him suddenly after he did not speak. So for me, at the moment, I'm gonna go with player number 8, and I'm gonna listen to everyone else what they have to say. But there's no other sheriff, I believe. No, so perfect. Anyway, for me, I don't know. Just 6 is such a useless check, in my opinion. But whatever.
10 seconds.
Anyway, pass.
Thank you, Miss Frenchie. We move on to player number 6, Miss Malva, your minute.
Yeah, in my opinion too, because I know my color. I'm joking. I nominate player number 8.
Number 8 supported.
It's easy. It's easy. I'll explain to you. So what actually happening? So player number 5, who is obviously red, right? So you were against her, dramatically. Sorry. And while you were talking about number 5, number 3 was like yes. Plus you was the only one who did not vote against number 3 and was quite upset about it. So if you were a red player, so the speeches of number 2 and number 3 was not really good. So it would be logical to vote against like one of them. Okay, anyway, so if it's not 8, it's gonna be 1 or 2.
10 seconds.
8 and 2 definitely in the different teams, because 8 was against 2, asking him for check and so on. I'm playing with 4 because she also asked number 8 for check.
And thank you, Miss Mamba. That's your minute. We move on then to player number 7, Miss Condor, your minute.
Yeah, pretty much I agree with the reasoning of number 6. I think because there's 2 good checks, there's a good statistic that City may win. Number 8, because of the logic of number 6, which I agree on, in terms of you playing with 3, out of the 2 or 3, I always felt number 3 was more mafia than number 2. I would still need to hear you speak also. But then there was a lot of agreement, on 3, sometimes that would be like a routine. So I'm gonna go a little bit more in terms of like speaking over for the next night, but this night I'm gonna go for 8 if there's no any more nominations or you doing like convince me or anything else. But I agree with number 6. Number 4, I would say never put someone red completely because you never know. I mean, there's only 2 good checks.
10 seconds.
Anything else. So that's the only thing. It's good, but you never know. We've been like betrayed before. By me. Drastically.
And thank you, Mr. Condor. We move on then to player number 8, Mr.
I'm
America.
nominating number 2
Number 2
because
accepted.
you just need to remember who voted against. Here is an unchecked player, and I only want it was a very poor idea to vote to if I would mafia I would join the majority, because I know that you all of you voting against, and I still think that 3 is a good player, and we still have 2 mafias here, and one of the mafia I'm pretty sure 2. If you will remove myself, it will be a critical. So I'm happy to stand up with somebody else, Otherwise, you just removing
10
the
seconds.
red player. I'm asking you to vote against number 2. Just listen. Just listen.
And thank you, Mr. America. That's your minute. We move on then to player number 1. Mr. Hemlock, your minute.
So who's the second mafia then?
I don't know.
We're warning Mr.
Okay.
America.
Let me explain it. 5 was sheriff, and 5 checked 6 and 7. You claimed 3 is good, which means there has to be 2 mafia left. You said 2 is mafia, which means the only other people it can be is either 4 or me, right? You can't, that's your logical conclusion of what you say. It has to be 2, and it has to be 4 or me, okay? It doesn't make, it's just that based on that, it doesn't make sense because you're saying you don't know. Like, so you're putting arguments out there into space and you can't even figure out the rest of it. So you're not really like putting good thoughts into it. So I'm going to be supporting, like, I'll just be voting for you since you're already nominated because it's the only thing that makes sense.
10 seconds.
Just comment, it seems like it's so hard for, why, what? Wait, 4, I didn't say 4.
And thank
Because
you,
I think it's
Mr.
8 because
Hemlock.
number
That's
2
your
I think
minute.
3 was mafia.
We conclude today's discussions with player number 2. Mr. Dramatic, your minute.
I think you made a good point about why would he vote for, like why would he not go with the majority? I'm now after that, I know he's so hard against me, and I mean, I know he's going to get the most votes, but obviously you two are fine. I've got no doubt on you. Number 1 is the most dark for me. I mean, I'll vote, I mean, I'll nominate number 1.
Number
just
1
for the sake of
accepted.
it. I think, to be fair, it doesn't really matter. As long as I think us 3 go, we'll be fine. But I am now not as sure about number 3 being mafia.
10 seconds.
Anyway, I'll vote for.
And thank you, Mr. Dramatic. That's your minute.
Maybe
That's
6 and 7.
warning, Mr. Hemlock. So that concludes the discussion portion of the day. We now move on to the voting portion. Please remove all hands and elbows from the table, and no gesturing is allowed from this point forward. We have 3 players up for nomination today. They are player number 8, number 2, and number 1. I repeat, number 8, number 2, and number 1. Who would like to vote against player number 8? 2, thank you. Who would like to vote against player number 2? 0 votes, thank you. And who would like to vote against player number 1? 4 votes, thank you. So unfortunately, player number 1, you had the most majority of votes, you were put to prison, and you have 1 final minute.
Yeah, that made no sense. Like, that's. All I can say constructive is obviously keep playing with 6 and 7. Like, 2, like, I think the thing you don't get is sometimes you have to vote against. Like, people say vote for this person, you have to put your vote down right away, and then you only have one option to go with it. And like, just because he's made a statement, you have to trust your original thoughts about like 3. So I still believe it's 8. I don't think it matters too much because as long as 4, 6, and 7 play together, like there'll be 4 people next, it should be fine. Like, but yeah, I don't know what I did which made it so dark, but like it's just fairly straiggight to go against 8 because we thought 3 was dark. 8 is with 3. Like,
9 seconds.
this is not the complicated maths or logic, so I pass.
Thank you, Mr. Hemlock. Please give him a round of applause as he signs in. Night falls upon the city. As the night grows darker, the Vicious Mafia raises their pistols and moves past the players. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8. Mafia God awakens and looks for Sheriff. Sheriff awakens rises on the city. Unfortunately, Mafia were precise in their shot, and player number 7, you have been killed. You have 1 final minute.
I think we were wrong about another one. I don't think there was balance there. We could have balance after. I think we were wrong about another one. I wish I could help you, but I don't have much. Towards like everyone here, my gut is toward 8. I don't think it has making many more sense on his speeches. I think number 4 is very, very passionate. Usually she is like that when she is good and then she's playing really well, but hopefully not. So I would say 8. But then if the night continue, can Mafia win 1-1? Yeah? Because let's say we get out 8 and then there's 3 left and
10
then there's
seconds.
another night, you might be killed. So can Mafia be 1-1 and win 1-1 if you get killed? Alright, so there's
And thank you, Miss Condor. That's your minute. And thank you, Miss Condor. And thank you, Miss Condor. That's your minute. Please give a round of applause if you've done anything outside. We start our discussions then with player number 6, Miss Mamba. Your minute.
I nominate player number 8.
Number 8 accepted.
You nominate player number 2. And we do both. So 8 vote against 2, 2 votes against 8. We just need to decide. Let's say I vote against number 8 and you vote against number 2. And then 3 of us doing for majority to get you stand up, right? Okay, so what actually happened? We had a small chance that 8 would be playing together with number 1. So 8 could not play with number 2 in the same team because he always asked him, right? So if we
10 seconds.
yeah, anyway, so whatever. So I just got it for the balance sense, not for anything else.
And thank you, Miss Mamba. That's your minute. We move on then to player number 8, Mr. Amerigo. Your minute.
I just have a question. Do we have a number 6 checked? Verified she's 5. And what about you? Have we checked number 4? I nominated number 4.
Number 4 accepted.
Because I believe that we still have 1 Mafia, and this is number 4 because it's only chance. Because nobody, if I voted for the I'm red player, and I voted against 2. I voted against 2, and nobody support me. It makes me know that number 2 is red player. So it's only the
10 seconds.
option possible. So I believe 2. I believe 6 because you checked red player. We have only 1.
And thank you, Mr. Amerigo. That's your minute. I'm sorry I forgot to warn you. We move on then to player number 2, Mr. Dramatic. Your minute.
You almost had me. It is a possibility, but I think when you said, oh, that makes me see that I'm red, it doesn't make me red necessarily. We just happen to vote for number. No, I know, but it doesn't prove I'm red. So I think we should just go with Mamba's plan. I'm happy to sacrifice myself as a citizen. I mean, yes, what you're saying, there's a very, very slight possibility. We've all just sort of accepted that 4 is good, but I've never suspected 4 at all. Like, yeah. We've nominated 8. Oh, well, you nominate me, but I just don't think she's Mafia, so yeah, pass.
Thank you, Mr. Dramatic. We concluded our discussion today with player number 4, Miss Frenchie. Your minute.
I nominate player number 2.
2 accepted.
From the start, I keep saying that number 8 is like Mafia, and I was genuinely so mad when everyone decided to change their vote for number 1. So I don't understand what you're saying, but whatever.
She asking to put us together. We win.
Second warning, Mr.
Yeah.
Amerigo.
I'm not winning. I mean, yeah, I'm winning because you're going away and you're Mafia. You're playing with 3 since the start. Whatever. You can sign as much as you want. 8 and 2. are going, and 8 is Mafia anyway. And I don't trust that 2 is Mafia. I think 2 is Citizen, but apparently we need to do a split vote. So whatever. So I'm nominating 2 and pass.
Thank you, Ms. Frenchie, and that concludes the discussion portion of the day. We now move on to the voting portion. Please remove all hands and elbows from the table, and no gesturing is allowed from this point forward. We have 3 players up for nomination. They are player number 8, number 4, and number 2. I'll repeat, 8, 4, and 2. Who would like to vote against player number 8? 2 votes, thank you. Who would like to vote against player number 4? 1 vote, thank you. And who would like to vote against player number 2? Thank you, 1 vote. Unfortunately, player number 8, you did have majority of the votes, so you are put to prison, but you have 1 final minute.
Mafia, congratulations, you win. You lose. Thank you, and pass.
Thank you, Mr. America. Please applause and please leave the table. And I declare the end of the game and the victory of City.
Yay!
Mafia was players number 8 and Mafia Don player
You're
number
good.
3
You
and
almost
Sheriff
had me.
number 5.
We did the money.
I freaked
No.
out when you started down. I was like,
Yes! Me too.
Why
Like,
did you guys
I'm
change for 1?
I
There was
just
just a
wanted to
very
see-
slight possibility that it could be both of
I
them.
actually
When I make a